This is the topic of employee versus self-employed. The significance of that is that certain expenses that you have incurred can be treated as a deduction if you're in one category or the other. So we must first decide whether a person is an employee or a self-employed contract for hire type individual. Certain factors indicate the employee-employer relationship. These include the following when they're done by the employer. You furnish tools and equipment and a place to work. You provide support services, including the hiring of assistants to help do the work. You make training available to provide needed job skills. You allow participation in various workplace fringe benefits. You pay for services based on time rather than the task performed. If you are doing these things, then you're probably establishing an employer-employee relationship. The self-employed, on the other hand, contracts with many different customers. They are sending invoices for their work. They provide their own tools. They come and go according to their own schedule. Ask anyone who tries to hire a plumber. They will come and go at their own schedule. It's important to establish whether a person is an employee or a self-employed person. In the same vein, it is important to establish where your tax home is. Now, it may seem self-evident that your tax home is where you live, but under some circumstances that's not true. The tax home is the area in which the taxpayer derives his or her source of income. Hopefully you live within a short distance of where you work. However, the courts are filled with cases where people have commuted long distances to actually work. So establishing a tax home is important because in order to travel away from your tax home, you must establish the home. The famous case of the long-haul truck driver, he had his mother's home address as his permanent residence. However, he didn't contribute toward the maintenance and didn't have anything but a set of clothes hanging in the closet. Consequently, since he was always traveling over the road on his long-haul truck driving business, his home moved with him wherever he was. Consequently, he was never away from home, and that restricted the deductions that he was entitled to for food, lodging, other kinds of traveling expenses. So it's important to establish your employee-employer relationship versus the self-employed relationship, and it's important to establish where your tax home actually is.